Hello everyone, this is The Big Fight and I'm Marya Shakil. Glaring loopholes in Parliament's security and intelligence apparatus has come to the fore after an intrusion in Parliament. On the 22nd anniversary of 2001 Parliament attack on December 13, two young men, Sagar, Sharma and Manoranjan D, jumped into the Lok Sabha chamber, shouting anti-establishment slogans and opened smoke canisters. The Lok Sabha Secretariat has suspended 8 security personnel, yet many questions remain unanswered. What's the motive of the coordinated attack both inside and outside Parliament? We do not know yet. The police have charged the conspirators under the stringent UAPA. A day after the attack, opposition demanded the explanation from the government. Questions raised were valid, but instead they were suspended for unruly conduct. The government says the attack shouldn't be politicized. The Lok Sabha Speaker says the buck stops with the Secretariat. But will accountability be fixed? And will the blame game stop? That's the question that I'm asking on The Big Fight. Joining me on the show, SP Baghel, Union Minister. He was present in Parliament in 2001 and also on 13th December 2023. Mohammad Javed is suspended Congress MP. Pratyush Kant of the BJP. Danish Ali, Lok Sabha MP. Also someone who was present inside the Lok Sabha when it happened. PK Mishra, former Director of Parliament Security. Aditi Fadnis, senior journalist here in the studio. Yashwardhan Azad, former Special Director of IB, and Snehata Srivastava, former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. Danish Ali, beginning with you, can we have a divided polity after this very daring attack?
Not at all, Maria. It's not a divided question of divided polity. See, after 2001, the unfortunate part is when members were demanding the explanation from the Home Minister should come and address the House, Parliamentary Affairs Minister comes with a list that how many times the intruders had come to the Lok Sabha. They are in Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's phobia, this government. They start from there. What is happening today? They are not responding to that. And how many times intruders entered Parliament before 2001, before terrorist attack, and after this 2001, there is a differentiation should be there, because after 2001 terrorist attack, the Parliament security has enhanced many folds. Before that, in 60s, we know that even the Delhi Transport Corporation bus used to stop on the main gate of gate number 1 of the Lok Sabha. Even in the 90s, I used to live in Vittalbhai Patel House. I used to take my car, and when we want to go to the Vijay Chowk, used to take this one gate and exit from another gate. But after 2001 terrorist attack, when Mr. Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, after that, many folds.
So many things have changed, yet the Parliament security is not foolproof. Pratyush Kant.
Security is an evolving process. I mean, senior journalist like you knows that. In this particular case, it is the Lok Sabha Speaker who takes care, who is the head of the whole premise. He and all the agencies report to him. And it happens, so the moment this incident happened, he called a meeting. He met all the MPs, the concerned people. Immediate directions were issued. Under DG CRPF, a committee was formed. People were fixed. What we are saying is, don't try to give it a political color. This is a very serious issue. And we'll get to, and now since 2 days of the investigation has happened, we have realized that no.
So are you saying that those MPs who have been suspended gave it a political color?
Yes. Rather than trying to get into the bottom of it.
So why did you give a political color, Mohammad Javed of the Congress?
There is no political color. It is very unfortunate that such a serious security and intelligence lapse happened. And as members of the opposition, we had to raise our voice for the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Home Minister to come and let the nation know as to what happened in the last 24 hours after the incident. And we were demanding the Honorable Speaker to come and let us just know why this happened, why this last happened and what all he is doing for it. But it is so unfortunate that to make it political from their side, whenever there is something serious that happens in India, they try and twist the whole story.
We will get into the politics of it and elaborately discuss it. But before that, let me bring in the experts also and begin with P.K. Mishra. P.K. Mishra, the MP who issued this letter is a BJP MP, Pratap Simha. How much of his accountability has to be fixed? Where do you think he erred?
Yes, I can well tell you that honorable MPs, they keep on recommending their constituency persons to visit Parliament. I can well tell you that any Indian, they have got a right to come to the Parliament to see the proceeding, to observe the proceedings. Nobody can stop it. But there are some means how they will come. They have to apply before and their antecedents will be verified, their Aadhaar card to be checked, their telephone number to be checked, their address to be checked. But yes, if the permission is given in 1 day or 2 days notice, it's very difficult to check all these things much before. And honorable MPs cannot be stopped. Honorable MPs cannot be stopped that they cannot recommend their constituency people to come to visit Parliament. Yes, they can recommend, but the pass to be issued by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha Secretariat and all the they
so
have to go through all the
if the pass is issued by the Lok Sabha Secretariat, Yashwardhan Azad, then the final buck stops with the Lok Sabha Secretariat. Then in that case, one would say that, the Lok Sabha Speaker is well within his right to say that I'm going to explain, so the MPs must wait.
No, you see,
he's in charge of the security.
Deeper than that. The question is that as per the Lok Sabha rules, the Shagar, who has written the book on this also, says that yes, it is the MP's responsibility because he writes over that, I know this person, either he's my relative or he's my friend, etc. Technically also the application for the pass should go by 4 o'clock a day prior. But the passes are being issued in with the notice of 2 hours also. And even if you submit it 1 day before, can there be any background check or anything like that? I don't blame the MPs. You see, right from 1952, I've been watching that the MPs sign, yes, for the constituency. The important thing is that when they come, they should be screened. A man might be a dacoit, for example. For a background check reviews, he's a dacoit. But that will come later. But when he goes through, if he's clean, he's clean. The question here is that the mishap occurred that the fellows were not clean as they entered. And they had that. That is where the fault lies. And that fault has to be rectified. That fault can be rectified by the security specialists.
So that is like the body scanners which have been put in place now, and perhaps also the precautions that are being taken. But Snehlata Srivastav, 8 officials suspended. Does the buck stop with them?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Parliament Security Service is fully responsible for the inside security. And of course, the frisking was done by the Delhi Police and CRPF, and therefore the first place where the lapse has taken place, I would say number 2 lapse is at the frisking place. But it may happen that the canister was not brought when the accused have come inside. Somebody helped them to from inside to hand over these canister, because these canister size, when I see, I don't think it can fit into shoes, and without shoes checking, it may come with the guy. But that is the first and foremost thing is the passes, the recommendation given by the Honorable MP. They have to certify.
So that's like an undertaking that MPs give. Aditi Fadnis, as a journalist who has covered the Parliament for decades, where does the buck stop? And while we get into the technicalities of it and look at the jurisdiction of various agencies, what about political accountability?
Well, first of all, I have to say that what strongly comes to mind is an old Hindi film song, Kahin pe nigahein, kahin pe nishana. My experience has been that whenever this kind of an incident happens, it is you and me as reporters whose access is first stopped.
Yes, that's true.
So I remember the days when I was a rookie reporter, parliamentary reporter, and I used to go on a scooter. My scooter used to be parked right outside in the parking lot where the CPC now is. So I could go right up to the gate of Parliament House. Soon that practice stopped. Then you had to enter Parliament House only through certain gates. If you were following a leader, you could not follow him behind. You could not follow behind. That practice stopped. Then the new Parliament building came, and we were told we are improving the security infrastructure. So we need biometrics, we need your thumbprint, we need your iris, we need facial recognition. What on earth happened to all those things? And how was this person, these people, allowed to enter a visitors gallery where you cannot even lean forward to look into the gallery, into the house? There are strict regulations about how much you can lean forward.
Yes, I remember we were not allowed to even carry our pens when we would sit in the press gallery of the old Parliament building.
You can't, you can only carry a notebook at best and maybe a pen.
Absolutely. So the first punch is over, and let's get into it by talking about what happened in 2001. Ma'am, you were in Deputy Chairman Najma Heptullah's chamber then.
You see, at that time in the old Parliament House, there were very few toilets for women. And so you had to take recourse to meeting strange men in states of half undress if you wanted to use the toilet. Or you could go to Dr. Heptullah's room and use her toilet. I had gone there to say hello to her and also to use her toilet. And then we heard these noises, and suddenly there was a hubbub. And she said something serious has happened and you have to leave. So I quickly exited from there, and I found that there was a state of total chaos in the
Yes, but ma'am, what followed after that was a statement that came from the Prime Minister then, Mr. Vajpayee, and the entire political class united to make it that this is an issue of national security. The Indian polity cannot appear to be divided.
Absolutely.
Why is it appearing so divided right now? Manishali.
See, you yourself have said that time Honorable Prime Minister Vajpayee came and gave a statement. Here, after this incident, at 2 o'clock itself, the government wants to run the house, and they started that proceedings. When we were unable to sit there, smell was there. Why? Because they want to hush up everything to cover that nothing happened. It's a routine. It's not a routine. देश आपके हाथ में सुरक्षित नहीं है. जब देश की संसद आपके हाथ में सुरक्षित नहीं है, आप कैसे कह सकते हैं कि देश आपके हाथ में सुरक्षित है? ये कोई छोटा सवाल नहीं है. और आपने इसी सवाल पर, पासवर्ड के सवाल पर एक एमपी को एक्सपेल कर दिया. पास इशू करने के सवाल पर वही एमपी बैठ करके जो है ऑपोजिशन के एमपी जब डिमांड करते हैं, व्हेन दे आर डिमांडिंग द होम मिनिस्टर स्टेटमेंट, प्राइम मिनिस्टर स्टेटमेंट, द सेम एमपी मिस्टर प्रताप सिम्हा raises his hand to suspend these opposition MPs. There can't be two yardsticks.
Yes, there cannot be two yardsticks. And why talk about politics here? You are saying that the opposition is doing politics, when the government can put out a statement and there'll be no politics on it. Why look at it from that prism? This is not business as usual.
What was the first statement which came from Minister of Parliamentary Affairs? Don't try to politicize it.
That's what my question
listen,
is.
this is a very serious issue, see, because you are not sitting on a chair where you know what all is happening. This is a very, very big drama which has taken place, and something which will have great political consequences to see. This, as this shows, such diverse people come. This is a shadyantra of the highest level, conspiracy at its best. But I am not in a position to say anything till the investigation report comes. Now people come from Lucknow, Mumbai, Hisar, Kolkata, Mysore. No. It is not that easy. Look at this. So many people come from diverse places, coming to Gurugram, then meeting at India Gate. Then they have political connections with political parties. what are going to come?
So which political party?
What is our intelligence agencies doing? What is the Home Minister doing?
Maybe the
only
investigation
campaigning
will reveal to you that there was a possibility that the BJP MP was used to give that pass.
Okay, so
you don't know.
What is
We
it?
can't jump to guns.
What is the
So you
have to wait and see.
What is the intelligence agency doing in the
Javed.
Pulwama? Same thing. What is intelligence doing now?
Yes,
Fortunately, there were no casualties.
Pulwama was
Otherwise,
our biggest
BJP
victory.
would have harped on it.
Okay, Mohammad Javed, so when you were demanding explanation, you were noisy and your conduct was unruly is what the BJP is saying, but at the same time, you are being blamed for politics. That you are the ones who are politicizing it somehow these connections may just lead to the Congress party, is
Yes,
what Pratyush
absolutely.
is saying.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It is not the Congress party or any opposition party which issued that passes. We did not issue that pass. And who is doing politics? We demanded the Honorable Home Minister or the Prime Minister to come and let the nation know as to what happened. And in 24 hours, the government could not come up with anything to share with the
because
the
if
nation.
it's
If
of
Mr.
national
Javed
security.
would have issued the pass, by this time the connection
No,
would be from the ISIS.
The Honorable Minister,
Fortunately,
the Honorable Home.
it was Sagar, not Shami, and fortunately it was Pratap Singh, not Javed. Otherwise, the theory would have been different.
Again, you are trying to give political color. And
It's not political color because you are always harping on this type of incident.
It is people like
everybody has seen how the Honorable Prime Minister
minority
asked the voters
majority
to
backlash.
vote.
Okay.
How Honorable Prime
Minority
Minister asked the
syndrome,
voters to
majority
vote
backlash.
after
He's
Pulwama.
trying to-
I don't think so. We should look at it. I don't.
Ma'am,
Okay. Let me bring in SP Singh. SP Bagel. My question is about these letters.
Madam, you asked.
Yes. Go ahead, Javed Saab. I'll bring in the minister later. Go ahead.
You asked me to talk and then others came in. I did not get to speak.
Please go ahead.
I said the opposition members, we demanded the statement from the Honorable Prime Minister and the Home Minister or either of the two, and they didn't come and we were suspended for the rest of the tenure. I don't know for how long.
Yes.
Is it not our right or the right of the people of India to know why this major lapse happened? Are we not responsible to raise this question in the House? Who is doing politics here?
Yes, absolutely.
The people who are not fit enough to run this government, not take care of the highest security building in the whole of the country, and they are saying we are doing politics.
Okay.
Is this politics?
SP Singh.
We asked.
You know, the
we
question
asked
is
for
about
the,
also letters that are being issued perhaps recklessly by MPs. सवाल ये है कि क्या केयरफुल होने की जरूरत है, जैसा कि राजनाथ सिंह ने बोला है, और जिम्मेदारी तो हर सांसद की भी होगी, क्योंकि अगर वो लेटर इशू करते हैं तो वो एक अंडरटेकिंग होती है.
पार्टी और सरकार इस विषय में निर्णय लेगी. पार्टी अपना निर्णय ले सकती है, संगठनात्मक, और सरकार लेगी. लेकिन बहुत से विश्वास पर राजनीति होती है. मुझे भी सबक मिला कि लोकसभा में चलते हुए मैं भी एक सॉफ्ट टारगेट था, चाहे लोकसभा के कर्मचारी हों, अधिकारी हों, सिक्योरिटी वाले हों. अक्सर रेलवे रिजर्वेशन का काम लेकर तैयार रहते हैं, हिसाब करा दो. अभी उसमें पता नहीं होता है कि जिसका हम करा रहे हैं वो किस विचारधारा का है, वो क्या क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड है. और मैंने भी अपनी जिंदगी में 1000 बार और ज्ञात लोगों के लिए मैंने, माफ करना ये मैं कन्फेस करते हुए अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, लेकिन ऐसा होता है कि जो व्यक्ति कह रहा है कि ये वो विश्वसनीय है, पार्लियामेंट में स्टाफ है, उनके रिश्तेदार भी देखना चाहते हैं, तो अक्सर मैं दस्तखत कर दिया करता था. इस घटना से मुझे भी सबक मिला है कि केवल लोकसभा का ही होना चाहिए, और लोकसभा में भी होना चाहिए तो 24 लाख लोगों के चरित्र मैं नहीं जानता हूँ जो मेरे मतदाता हैं. तो ध्यान रखा करेंगे कि उनकी बैकग्राउंड क्या है, वो किस विचारधारा के हैं, कट्टर तो नहीं है, मानसिक रोगी तो नहीं है, तुरंत प्रसिद्धि तो नहीं पाना चाहते, किसी विचारधारा से बहुत ज्यादा प्रभावित तो नहीं है. तो इन बातों का हम सारे सांसदों को एक सबक भी देते.
2001 में आप संसद में थे जब पार्लियामेंट पर अटैक हुआ, उसके बारे में बताइए कि आप कहां पर मौजूद थे, और इस बार 2023 में आपने क्या देखा?
उस समय की घटना मुझे याद आ रही है कि आई वाज द सेकंड एमपी जो सदन के अंदर गया था. लास्ट वाले मुझे आज भी याद है, श्याम बिहारी मिश्रा जो बिल्हौर से एमपी थे भाजपा के, वो आए थे, वो शायद गाड़ी से उतर भी नहीं पाए थे। आई वॉज द सेकेंड लास्ट। तो जैसे ही हम अंदर गए तो हाउस अर्जन हो गया था, तो मुझे लगता है 11-20 के आसपास हो गया था। और राज्यसभा तो हाथ लाई थी मैली होती थी उस जमाने में, जरा सा उधम हुआ तो अर्जन हो जाती थी। तो वो अर्जन हो गई थी। उपराष्ट्रपति महोदय ने गाड़ी लगाने को कह दिया था। उस समय के विजय चौक की तरफ से घुसे थे। जितनी देर में बात कर रहा हूँ उससे भी कम समय में 60-70 गज गाड़ी उन्होंने। उस समय एक दरवाजा होता था जो मैनुअल खुलता था, वो भी तरीका ठीक नहीं था कि कार का नंबर पास शीशे पे चढ़ाए, उस पे कार का नंबर और एसपी सिंह बघेल, ये तीनों चीजें मूविंग कार में कोई देख ले, तो वो संभव नहीं था। तो लोग आतंकवादी जो थे वो अंदर घुस गए। तब पता चला कि ये रुके नहीं है। तो वो तो ईश्वर की कृपा है, सिक्योरिटी का जज्बा था और उनका एकदम, तो मुख्य दरवाजा बंद कर लिया था। वरना दोनों हाउस के लोग जब एडजन होती है लोकसभा राज्यसभा, तो सीधे घरों में नहीं आते हैं। 70% लोग उस समय सेंट्रल हॉल में जरूर रुकते हैं, तो उनकी गाड़ियां आ रही होती हैं, तो मेल मिलाप करते हैं, तो बड़ी दुर्घटना होती।
Okay, PK Mishra, my question is that if the opposition is demanding an answer, then should the answer be coming from the Lok Sabha speaker, as he says that, the buck stops with me, or should it come from the Home Minister?
Marya, I can tell you very frankly that in the Parliament, when earlier most of the honourable members, they know that in earlier days Parliament security was looked after by the deployment of Delhi Armed Police and Tripura Armed Police, and IB all mixture in the Parliament, and things were very bad. They were called watch and ward, and then the perspective plan for Parliament security was prepared by me. The book was written and it was implemented on the ground, and I can well tell you, Parliament, the Lok Sabha, the Honourable Speaker, he raised a special battalion of CRPF that is called Parliament Duty Group Battalion. Within 8 days, the Honourable Speaker, he raised it exclusively for Parliament security inside the complex. That is from the outer wall till the building gate, the Parliament Duty Group Battalion. Who raised it? The money was sent to Ministry of Home from Lok Sabha Secretariat. The money was paid, the funds were paid from Lok Sabha Secretariat, and it is the Honourable Speaker who raised the Parliament Duty Group Battalion, which is still existing. So this clearly shows the whole of security of Parliament, because I have served there. Even there is one additional DG of police who is in charge of security of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both including Parliament House Annex in the Parliament, and he looks after he supervises the security in consultation with IB, Delhi Police, CRPF and all. But everything lies on the Honourable Speaker.
Okay.
Who suspended this 8 security staff?
So, but the question is then,
not the Honourable Home Minister.
Okay, so then why?
A lot of things have changed since then, because nowadays things are controlled from somewhere else. As Mr. Mishra said it correctly, how we have seen during the last session when no confidence motion was being discussed on the Sunset TV, the achievement of the governments were going on. I objected to that. Though it is a prerogative of the speaker, but it was controlled from somewhere.
Okay.
In the same way, on the day of the women's reservation bill, on the day of the women's reservation bill on the new building, there were all galleries were full, and loaded women were there, clapping, Modi, Modi, Modi. This is the first time.
Yashwardhan Azad, one moment. Yashwardhan Azad, one moment.
Yashwardhan Azad. No, I'll just take a minute to reply to him. What he's saying is that the Lok Sabha speaker has no power. He's saying that everything is done from somewhere else.
I am not saying that, but the thing is, whole country has seen.
There is no screaming on the big fight.
On the day of women's reservation, loaded buses are coming. Loaded buses are coming. And they are shouting, Modi, Modi, Modi.
Yashwardhan Azad.
In the Lok Sabha,
Yashwardhan Azad now on the screen now.
In the Prime Minister himself had to intervene that day. What is this happening? When you are bringing thousands of people daily just
So
to
this is
showcase
what
your
they do.
achievement.
Such a serious issue like a security lab.
One moment.
And what are we talking here?
One moment.
Who is? Somebody has to
The
take the
show may be
responsibility.
called the big fight, but there's no actual fight that happens. So let me bring in Yashwardhan Azad now. Yashwardhan Azad, the technicalities, yes. The jurisdiction debate, yes. You know, then it can be about Parliament Security Services inside the premises, outside it is Delhi police. They can also fight it out. Then the buck stops with whom? Should we go and speak to the Delhi CP and seek his accountability? All that aside, my question is, you know, we do not know the intent, we do not know anything about it except that this was a group of very diverse individuals coming from several parts of India who come together, and there is a conspiracy here at play, but they are not terrorists per se. This is not an act of terror, but then why is UPA invoked?
See, there are three parts to this issue. One is, of course, the outstanding debate we've had, you know, who should get suspended, who should not, and the politics of it. Second is exactly the security lapse, and I think we should be very highly concerned how to fix it. Third, you're talking about these people, whether what kind of, whether they are politically motivated or whether they are activists or whatever. Now, as far as the very fact that UPA 16 and 18 have been put, it means that the government is very, very highly concerned about this mishap. In that case, it was incumbent upon the Home Minister to come and make a statement, because it is about UPA 16 and 18. So they already think that there are some terrorist links with it. It is against the nation, it is infringing on the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. In actual practice, what we have seen so far, neither by prior action, neither by subsequent action, and neither by their action within the House, UPA 16 or 18 is attracted. So I would say that's all right. I mean, that's a different part. These two, the politics of who should answer, who should not. But the accountability has to be fixed on the Home Secretary, because he's the one who comes and answers all the questions of the Parliament security. And I was there when this was happening after 2001. And therefore, it is not only to say, I'm sorry about the responsibility. The responsibility is not only of the six people who just checked or did not check the shoes. In fact, as for the SOP and the protocol, the shoes are never checked in Parliament House.
Yes.
Why were they not checked? Who was supposed to tell them? The Home Ministry was supposed to tell them that technology has changed. There should be a backscatter. There should be a millimeter wave. So, you know, unless we look into deeply, if we just talk about the politics of it,
yes,
again this incident of this kind
yes,
will happen.
Yes. So Pratyush, the point here is that here you have a new Parliament building, and new Parliament building should have new security gadgets, should ensure complete safety of parliamentarians and other officials who are present inside. Instead, when a lapse of this nature, extremely serious in nature, which happens, you are putting the blame on opposition.
You heard what Mr. Mishra said, that last time, in 10 days' time, a whole parliamentary force was created, but under the jurisdiction of the Speaker. How do we know that while we are sitting in the big fight, the Lok Sabha Speaker is not holding meetings? How do you know what is happening? He is privy to so much information coming from so many agencies. Why are we here trying to hurry up when such a big thing has happened? Let's have patience. Let's see who are the people who are behind this. What were the mistakes? How to rectify it? Every member of Parliament of Lok Sabha's life is absolutely priceless and precious for us, because they are the people who have been elected by the masses.
That's right.
So the Bharatiya Janata Party or the government, we are all there for them. But let's not try to politicize the issue. Okay. Let us wait.
Who's politicizing?
And look for
I want to understand from you. This is this blame game. It's getting lost in the blame game of it.
Well, some of it is getting lost in the blame game.
So
and I'm not saying that there
the
is
main
no
issue
blame
is not talked about, and we are talking about politics. It's so unfortunate.
Yes, because, you know, I'm trying to understand that because the main issue is not being talked about and we are only talking about politics, where is the main issue getting lost, and who is actually trying to ensure that the main issue gets lost?
The main issue,
yes,
the main issue is that we don't have a full-fledged security in charge from last 1 month in Parliament. The main issue is you have created a new building. You have not recruited the security officials. You have, because you want to give everything on the contract. आप हर चीज ठेका पड़ता पे देना चाहते हैं, जस्ट लाइक अग्निवीर योजना. Parliament security is something different.
Okay.
People get trained for 20 years, then they comes to the gallery.
PK Mishra will perhaps respond to
security.
this, but before that, Aditi Fadnis.
No, of course there will be politics on it, and it's very distressing that the idea that expulsions can take place, simply because you're being obstreperous, I don't think that should be the case. The fact is that the opposition was concerned about what is happening. If somebody had come and made a statement, even a limited statement, even some kind of a reassurance, maybe this would not have happened. But that's one part of it.
So are you saying that the reassurance should come from the treasury benches?
Well, of course, who else will give you a reassurance?
Not from the Lok Sabha speaker?
No, somebody has to give a reassurance, right?
No, from the opposition.
It has to come.
Government wants that the assurance should come from the opposition.
I'm sure
you
that
want
is
the
why
opposition to give assurance.
Defense Minister of India, Rajnath ji has already given a statement.
No.
See,
Home Ministry and central agencies do not report to Mr. Rajnath Singh. You must be aware of that.
Do you think on such a serious
They
issue,
reports to the Home Minister or the Honorable Prime
some kind of
Minister.
knee-jerk reactions come? No. What the government is requesting, they are saying
issue.
it's a very big issue. Please wait.
Yes.
Let's get to the bottom of it and then do it.
If it would have happened on the
you
borders,
can make statements like contracts
to give it.
So you are essentially, but he is also the deputy leader of the House.
You are giving everything
Yes,
on
one
contract.
He is also the deputy leader of the House. In that capacity, he can speak on the House.
We want the leader to come at least. At least the leader of the House should come. Who is the leader of the House? Honorable Prime Minister is the leader of the House.
Lok Sabha building,
where is the Home
comes
Minister?
under the Lok Sabha Speaker. He is the one who will collect all the documents.
People of this country has elected Prime Minister to give the security to this country. Not only to
Let's be patient.
24/7 only Home Minister and Prime Minister are campaigning.
Okay.
They are not concerned about their country's security at all.
I think while politics has to have its own place, we cannot decry from the fact that it takes great courage. It's not an easy act for somebody coming from outside, two people in fact, to jump into the well of the House. So I think that aspect of it, what they were trying to say,
something that has never happened.
Precisely.
You know, when the 2001 breach happened, the perpetrators from across the border. Here are radicalized individuals carrying it out, which is a matter of even more concern.
How do you know who are involved?
Yes,
how
because
can you give such a statement, please?
That's what the police is saying.
Your statement is based on some media reports.
That's what the police is saying. Yes, Mr. Javed, go ahead, and then I bring in SP Singh Bagai.
Ma'am, it's so unfortunate that such a thing happened, such a serious lapse happened. And we are trying to trivialize it and we are trying to politicize it. The opposition member, it is our duty to ask the Prime Minister to talk about what happened. It should have been the Prime Minister himself. Like other times when Bajpayee ji had come and said in the Parliament. The opposition did not say what you did in one day. Of course, the agencies will take the time. But to trivialize this matter and to divert the attention of the people in this matter is very unfortunate. And this is not the first time. This government does it for everything. The concerned ministry headed by a concerned minister will never reply to that department.
Okay, so Snehlata Srivastava,
some other department minister will come and
so the response that came from a defense minister, the point is being made by Mr. Javed and also here Danish Ali, that it should have come from the minister in charge, who is the Home Minister here.
Yes, exactly.
Snehlata ji.
You see, if you see the proceedings, the deputy leader of the House is like, in the absence of leader of the House, he can reply. But in case the MPs are demanding a reply from a particular minister, it is for the Parliamentary Affairs Minister or Ministry to see whether they would like that minister to come and give a statement. After the reply or after the statement made by the Defence Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, who is Deputy Leader of the House, I think the repetition, I do not know, like in my opinion, wouldn't have been there just to repeat the same thing. And therefore,
but it was unprecedented. Because something like this,
it is not a routine.
Yeah, it's not a, it's just not about, yeah, it's just about any other day. Let's look at the day and talk about the seriousness of it. Because SP Singh Baghel 2001 में आप पार्लियामेंट में थे, 2023 में भी आप पार्लियामेंट में थे, दो घटना हो गई. सवाल ये है कि सीख क्या मिली और क्या नहीं किया गया, क्योंकि अगर 2001 के बाद प्रिकॉशंस ले लिया गया होता तो शायद 2023 नहीं होता.
देखिए 2001 में सिक्योरिटी काफी वो थी, साधारण तरीके से थी. उसके पहले तो मैंने सुना है कि विजय चौक की तरफ से बस आती थी और घर से निकल जाती थी, आम तक चल जाता था पार्लियामेंट में होकर के. लेकिन उस समय आतंकवादी घटनाएं लाल किले पे हुई, श्रीनगर में हुई, विधानसभा पे हुई, आदि होती थी. तो उस समय थोड़ी सख्ती होनी चाहिए, जो नहीं हुई थी. लेकिन उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी बहुत सख्त हुई है और ये जो लैप्स है उसको तो स्वीकार करना ही पड़ेगा, इसको कौन मना करेगा. लेकिन इससे हम सीख भी लेंगे और सबक भी लेंगे और भी अच्छी सिक्योरिटी और की जाएगी.
आप सीख और सबक की बात कर रहे हैं, ये सरकार का फेलियर है, यही ऑपोजिशन कह रही है और ऑपोजिशन चाहती है कि होम मिनिस्टर बयान दें. ये तो बहुत ही वैलिड और लेजिटिमेट डिमांड है.
नहीं, ये सरकार का फेलियर नहीं है, किसी एक कर्मचारी की लापरवाही की वजह से घटना हो गई है, उसको लास्ट में तो सरकार को ही स्वीकार करना पड़ता है. लेकिन डीजीसीआर माननीय स्पीकर साहब ने एक चिट्ठी लिखी थी माननीय गृह मंत्री जी को. गृह मंत्री जी ने डीजीसीआरपीएफ को इसका आईओ बनाया है, जांच अधिकारी बनाया है. ये बहुत पाताल तक में अगर जड़ें होंगी तो वो सब खोदा जाएगा. सब सोशल मीडिया पर उनका बैकग्राउंड देखा जा रहा है, उनकी विचारधारा देखी जा रही है, स्वप्रेरित हैं या दूसरे के द्वारा प्रेरित हैं, उनका मेंस लिया क्या था, इंटेंशन क्या था, क्या करना चाहते थे और ऐसा क्यों किया, तुरंत प्रसिद्धि के लिए करने के लिए किया है या और क्या वो उनका और इरादा था. ये सब जांच का विषय है और जब जांच पूरी हो जाएगी तो आनंद फानंद में चिम साहब नहीं जवाब देंगे. वो हम नेता लोग आदेश करते हैं लेकिन स्वयं जांच नहीं करते हैं, तो वो विशेषज्ञ लोग जांच करते हैं. तो उसकी जांच करने के बाद जो फाइंडिंग होगी वो आपको भी बताई जाएगी और अदालत माननीय सदन में भी देखी जाएगी.
Okay, so let's start wrapping up this discussion and I'm going to begin with you, Danish Ali. Of course, you know, we are getting lost in jurisdiction. There is the question of accountability. Blame game is happening. We don't know the truth. We do not know the motive also in this entire breach that has happened. Can the opposition not look for issues and be more constructive here?
देखिए हमारे इसमें two things are there. One, what is the motive? The agencies will investigate. But what's the issue? That this country is still, there is an unemployment. What they are claiming at the first instance, कि हम बेरोजगारी की वजह से जो आवाज दबाई जा रही है इसकी वजह से, because we are not allowed to raise our voice, unemployment is there. That is one issue which has come into the light. And another thing, the failure on the part of the government. भाई ये कोई आम सरकार नहीं है, ये मोदी जी की सरकार है, 56 इंच के सीने वालों की सरकार है. ये परिंदा पर नहीं मार सकता. And you are just saying it's a routine. It's not a routine thing. It cannot be
business as usual, Pratyush.
Who has said it's business as usual? From day one, we are saying it's a very serious issue. We are saying just don't have to trivialize it. Don't give it political color to it.
So by not responding, are you not trivializing it and making it
not?
Just about any other
The
day?
Defense Minister of India has responded. A Parliamentary Affairs Minister has responded. Everybody has responded.
Parliamentary Affairs Minister was comparing from the last 70s instances.
No, that's a very different story. BJP cannot script, the Modi government cannot script a response which you like.
But Modi government cannot just say that it also happened in 1974. That's why it is happening today.
We are not like the parties where hijacking took place and two guys were rewarded by giving them MLA tickets.
Okay.
So we are a very
hijacking also took place in BJP government.
No, Indira Gandhi hijacking took place that time. So we have to understand. We have to understand. Parliament security is a very big issue.
It was Vajpayee government.
So now we are here on a big fight.
He's a suspended MP. He will not get a chance
We have talked about everything.
He is a suspended MP. He will not get a chance to speak inside Parliament. Let him get a chance to speak in the studio. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am,
I am not getting the chance. Every time I get the 0 hour house.
This government is not competent to run a country like India. They are master in fighting election and maybe winning it, and by whichever way. When I say whichever way, you know what I mean. So they are not competent, but whenever something serious happens, they try to trivialize it. They try to divert the attention of the people of India. It is very unfortunate and it is also very shameful. That's all I need to say.
P.K. Mishra, as a former Director of Parliament Security, there are so many unanswered questions, and on that we have politicians, both the sides saying the other side is trivializing it. But the searching questions and the answers aren't really coming. There are two individuals who go with pamphlets and a smoke bomb inside the Lok Sabha. There are multiple levels, 3 layers of security which they cross, and they cross it with elan, and then this is what is happening. My question is that there has to be a level at which this accountability has to be fixed. It cannot be about just 8 officials, junior officials who were responsible for frisking, they being suspended.
Marya, you have asked a very good question, and I will very clearly answer you. It's not those only 8 persons who are suspended. The trouble lies with the senior persons. The failure lies with the senior persons of Parliament security, that's the Lok Sabha security. Why they failed? Just now honorable MPs were telling, who will recommend for removal of the shoes and belts and caps to be checked? It is not Home Minister, it is not Home Secretary. It is the additional DG Police of the Lok Sabha Secretariat of the Parliament who is in charge of Parliament security to inform and brief the honorable Speaker, sir, this has to be done and this should have been done. What about the body scanner to be brought to the Parliament House for each new Sansad Bhavan, for each building gate, for explosive detectors for each building gates, and public gallery, and vapor detectors.
Mr. Mishra, when that incident happened of a MP carrying pepper spray inside Parliament, that was during the reorganization bill of Andhra Pradesh, that was Lagrapati Rajgopal who carried it.
Correct.
That was an MP. Even MPs go through multiple checks. Here is a visitor who is carried it out. No, sir, my question is that such is the level of security, and the day that has been chosen, it's 13th of December. That is the day on which you have added security checks and frisking. And then there is a messaging which has come on that particular day. So there is intelligence failure. How do we not say that there is intelligence failure?
The information was there that something will happen in Parliament House, and it was the 22nd anniversary also of that 2001, 13 December when it had happened, and Honorable Prime Minister and most of the Honorable MPs were there to give Shraddhanjali to our Shaheeds. The security should have been tightened 10 times more on that day, which was not done by the Lok Sabha security senior officers. They are responsible. It is not only those poor 8 constables or 8 persons who are suspended. Those all who are responsible in the security. It's a big security lapse, big security threat in the Parliament House. It is more than that of 2001. In 2001, it was contained outside of the building gate. Here they have already entered the Lok Sabha hall, Lok Sabha well. So you see, the action, the failure lies with the senior officials.
Sir, intelligence agencies do not report to the Lok Sabha speaker. Intelligence agencies reports to the Home Minister or the Prime Minister.
Yashwardhan Azad.
Please hold on. It is because, in the Lok Sabha. I am telling you about the Lok Sabha.
If there are individuals, if you have the information and intelligence that such an incident could happen, then what precautions were taken, Yashwardhan Azad?
You see, any intelligence which is received by the IB is shared with everyone. Lok Sabha, Parliament, Raj Sabha, everyone is briefed. So everyone is fully on board. But in this particular case, issue is different. Intelligence cannot know these little activists trying to plan and things like that. Intelligence was more geared towards the bomb case, like Panun when he was talking about. These people are not Khalistani terrorists or anything like that. You see, the outside security, everything was perfect. There was nothing wrong with the parliament security except the failure at that point. And the failure at that point took place because the accepted protocols which were being followed did not take into account the newer things like the plastics. So who's responsible? The person checking there is following the routine protocol. But the seniors have not told him that today there should be an added layer of security that should be checked. This something should have come into their heads and there should have been watchers.
When
Manoranjan... One thing more, Marya.
Yes.
One thing more, Marya. And the third is that the Home Ministry, the Home Secretary and his team should have thought of newer technologies which need to come, like the millimeter wave technology, the backscatter technology. So,
yes. So if there are new technologies at airports where you have to remove your shoes and it goes through the scanner, then why not inside Parliament also? Snehata Srivastav and Aditi giving the final words to the women on the panel, as has been the tradition of my shows. Snehata ji, main sabse pehle aapke paas aaungi. You know, the question certainly is that there is failure at multiple levels, no denying. But it should also not lead to a complete stopping or the knee-jerk reaction that often comes that visitors should be stopped. Because this new parliament is magnificent. You know, citizens of India should get a chance to see it.
No, I don't think the visitors will be stopped forever. It is just for the time being when the things are being investigated. There are, people who all were with them kind of thing, and their fingerprints, etc. if they require. So it is only for the investigation purpose. For the time being, it has been stopped, but it's not that it's going to be stopped forever.
Okay. Aditi? As a journalist, I'll have that concern. We have seen what happened during the COVID, and the COVID protocols are continuing.
Precisely.
We are still outside the
So, frankly, once a regulation comes into place, it is there forever. Do not ever believe that. Number two, why are we so afraid of discussing these things openly? We lost, or people allege that we lost land to China. Not one day has that issue been discussed in Parliament at all. That was also a military intrusion. That was also a kind of a security breach. That has not been discussed. You have somebody jumping into the house because they feel that there is no other recourse to protest. That is also not being discussed. Why are we so afraid of discussing these things?
But are you of the opinion that the polity should not appear to be divided after this attack?
Well, I mean, if it is divided, it is divided. You have to accept that.
It's the government. It's the government of the day.
All
BJP
right.
do not want any discussion to take place, neither outside and nor inside.
All right. Let's come to the end of this discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's all from me. I'll be seeing you with another episode of The Big Fight next week. Thanks so much for watching.